Slave DiBiase.
Hey, yeah, what's going on, y'all? It's another live session of the Offenders Initiative podcast, man. It's me, your boy, your illustrious host, Slave DiBiase, aka Slay Daniel Richards, aka Victor Von Slay, aka Tony Spark, aka got so many shades they thought I had a lazy eye. Yeah, it's your boy here, man. And happy Monday. That's all I can really say right about now. Happy Monday, y'all. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. We starting off another week strong with a good 420 sesh, man, of the pod. You feel me? Salute to all the folks that might digest this work, whether religiously or in passing. I just want to say salute to you. You could have been anywhere in the world for your 420, but you're here with me. Now, let's address the fact that I am an hour late and some change. It was mainly because I was watching wrestling today. That's what I was doing. Wrestling Raw happened to premiere in Paris today, and it was at a 2 o'clock showtime. You know what I'm saying? So I made the 2 o'clock showtime with my little Netflix, and I watched it with my daughter. That's why we about an hour and some change late. But better here now than ever. Y'all understand me? But don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're new here, let me tell you what we do here. When you get in the comments, put what you're smoking on, what you're smoking out of, and where you're from. You know what I'm talking about? So today we got, I know y'all been hearing about that whole thing that happened in the South Carolina gas station with the Mr. Chow character, the owner. I know y'all been hearing about that. We're going to talk about that a little bit. Scary Movie and Masters of the Universe. I have watched Scary Movie. I'm about to get a review on Masters of the Universe. I still plan on seeing it, but the reviews are in. Was it buns or was it fire? We don't know. We're going to check it out. Also, obviously on Sunday, there was a new episode of From, the TV show we all know and love that we know nothing about what the hell is going on, but we keep watching it. I don't know why I watch this show, but I keep watching it every motherfucking week. Still don't know what's going on. But obviously, season 4, episode 7 just dropped yesterday. Got to get into that. We might have some other things peppered in here. I'm not sure, man. But I say without further ado, while we're getting things together, this will be the greatest time for me with my irresponsible ass to roll up instead of being already rolled up before everything even started or whatever. I hate rolling up in front of y'all, man, but it is what it is. Again, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Love y'all. Tell me what you're smoking on, what you're smoking out of, where you're from. And I think we're going to start with the Mr. Chow verdict. I'm going to let everything be explained in the video, and then I'm going to give y'all my thoughts on it. Might not be what anybody wants to hear, but here we go. Let's see. And I want to see, this is by way today of from Black Guru. Please give him a like, comment, and subscribe. And let's get into it, y'all.
What just happened in the Cyrus Carmack Belton case now that Rick Chow has been found not guilty of murder. And now here's a lot of the aftermath. Take a look.
Okay. This is not what I should be showing y'all right now. Nah. This ain't what I should be showing y'all right now. I think I need to do a situation more justice so y'all can get some feelers. Okay. We're gonna stop sharing that. We're gonna go over here instead. There's a lady on Instagram talking about the whole case. Let's tap into her. Her name is I'm Not Allaware, but okay, I'm not a lawyer, but that's her name. Excuse me. Let's give her a follow. Yeah, and let's see what she has to say.
14-year-old Cyrus Carmack Belton, and on May 28, 2023, he walked into a Shell gas station in Columbia, South Carolina, and almost immediately after entering, he was told by one of the owners to place his bag at the front of the store because it was store policy.
Just put down your backpack.
That penny to put on the high school check. Yep.
But after that, the owner proceeded to follow him around as he shopped, eventually accusing him of stealing some waters.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I'm watching the little boy in the background, and it does look like he stuck something in his pocket. It does, but
So the woman's husband, whose name is Rick Chow, and their adult son, whose name is Andy Chow, proceed to chase Cyrus Belton for 130 yards. As Cyrus is running, he ends up dropping his cell phone, he runs out of his shoes, he drops his backpack and trips a couple of times. This is a video of the path Cyrus ran and Rick and Andy followed behind. Now, as this chase is happening, a number of people who were driving in the area start to take notice, particularly the two women in this BMW video.
I had pulled onto the lot and I stopped. At that point, I saw them, Cyrus run across the street, them chasing him. I saw Cyrus trip, but he didn't get up straight up. I thought he tripped again and he went down. So then I drove down there when I stopped and asked if they needed help. Was everything okay? Mr. Chow was in a shooting stance where he's standing upright with his legs and he had his arms like this.
We pulled into the gas station. As we were pulling in, Cyrus was running out, and behind Cyrus was his son and Mr. Chow. So Cyrus was running out, his shoe came off. He was pumping his arms and holding his pants with the other arm. He crossed the street, he tripped over the curb. At that time, he got back up. I see Mr. Chow step out. He had his arms up. And then we see Cyrus fall again to the ground. He kind of like crawled, basically, to the place where he passed.
So we're in here.
Yes, he was on his way back up. Mr. Chow was already like this.
Did you see Cyrus Carmack Belton turn around at any point?
No,
Did you see him point anything at Rick Chow or Andy Chow at any point?
no.
And then the driver of this white car testifies about what he saw.
Okay, so when he fell after he had got across the street.
Okay.
It was something over there that it looked like he had to trip up over or something. First fall was real hard.
Okay.
Yeah, he tried to get back up, but it was more so of a stumble versus him standing straight up.
Okay.
It's like he stood up almost all the way up completely. He maybe took a step, if that, and that's when he shot.
And then there was one more eyewitness whose car wasn't caught on the video surveillance because she was coming the opposite way because she was leaving from her apartment.
I see a young man running. I heard a pop sound, and my aunt said, "What is that?" We saw the young man go down to the ground, and we saw the older man had a gun in his hand pointed in a gun stance. My aunt said, "I just want to make sure we're seeing what we see." So we drove out real slow, and we still see Cyrus on the ground. Looked like he was trying to push himself up, like how somebody's doing push-ups, but they're shaking really bad. And he propped back down on the ground and started banging on the ground like in pain. And then my aunt, she said, "We need to get out of here." So we drove up to an empty parking lot near where the old Columbia Mall is at. And 911 had me on hold for a long time. So we hung up and we called again.
As a result of being shot in the back, 14-year-old Cyrus Carmack Belton passes away, and Rick Chow is arrested and charged with murder. But Rick Chow's defense is that this isn't murder. He says it was actually self-defense or in defense of his son, Andy. And so that is what the heart of this case is all about. murder or self-defense. And that's because it turns out that 14-year-old Cyrus Carmack Belton was carrying a firearm that day. But what Cyrus did with that firearm is what's in dispute. According to prosecutors, Cyrus didn't pull out his firearm. It fell out of his pocket when he fell.
The evidence will show that after they chased him out of his chute, dropping phones around down Springtree Road, after he tripped over a curb, fell, dropped his backpack, we believe that gun spilled out of that pocket. And within moments after that gun spilled out of that pocket, that man shot Cyrus Carmack Belton in the back with a .45 caliber pistol.
Okay, so what I'm hearing right now is from what I'm hearing right now, we're gonna use our context clues. Little boy was in the stove. Them folks already don't like black people because you see on the camera his mama was following him like the lady from Menace to Society. She was following him. Everybody from the hood that had to hurry up and buy. You know what I'm saying? In the little Chinese spot, hurry up and buy. Everybody that had that go down with them at the corner store, whatever. But they accuse this young man of stealing. He shows them, I don't have anything on me. Like, leave me alone. They made him leave his bag outside. He leaves the store, goes to get his bag, goes to walk away, and they chase him down. In the midst of them chasing him down, the reason why he was, I'm using context clues here. In order for him to have been running the way that he ran, he had to have seen the gun already. Their gun, I mean. They're saying this little boy was toting a pistol. If he was toting a pistol, horrible parenting. Horrible parenting. Horrible parenting. I don't like it. I've also seen reports of this little boy even brandishing and taking pictures with said pistol, like he finna go do a drill or something. I don't like that either. Yo, I'm gonna tell y'all something, my people. Y'all gotta start watching y'all kids, man. Y'all letting social media raise them. You just throw a phone in their face and say, here, get out my face. It's over with. Here, go play on your tablet. They getting introduced to all sorts of foolishness on that same tablet. You keep stuffing out in their face so that you can go do some other shit, which is probably a whole lot of nothing, nigga. Y'all need to start parenting these children. You're black in America. You're black and in the South. And you're young. Why are you carrying a gun? That's one thing. But the fact that Mr. Chow and his son chased this little boy down, 14-year-old boy, who was literally fleeing the scene and shot him in his back in South Carolina with their great laws. I fucking hate South Carolina. I ain't gonna lie. I hate South Carolina law. That shit trash. You know what I'm saying? But that's a whole nother story. This case that we're looking at right now, this is only day 1 and day 2. They end up having a verdict, which we'll get to.
But the defense, on the other hand, says Cyrus pointed that gun.
Mr. Belton pointed the gun at Andy Chow. Andy yelled out, he's got a gun. Mr. Chow told him, drop it. Mr. Chow is coming up. Pulls his gun down. At that moment, at that split second, that frozen moment in time, Rick Chow sees a young man pointing a semi-automatic pistol at his son, who's backing up with his hands up, and Rick Chow fires his gun to protect his son. Nah,
We're not doing that. All those people that just had this damn testimony, all those people that were rolling up and watching this, they just said, we did not see anything. We did not see that boy turn around and point anything at anybody. And these were people that seen the situation ever since they saw the young boy Cyrus run across the street. So they're going from where they ran across the street at. He didn't point a gun or anything. And this whole self-defense bullshit that they trying to kick, it's not self-defense no more. Once you run after somebody, motherfucker, you were trying to murder that kid and you did. You should be 6 feet under the fucking jail. Tell us y'all don't love us, man, and y'all don't want us here without telling us y'all don't love us and y'all don't want us here. You know what I'm saying? But we're going to get into that. Hold on.
we submit to you that that was reasonable. It was a reasonable impression that his son was possibly going to get seriously injured or die at the hands of somebody who had a gun pointed at him, that was a reasonable belief. And he fired his weapon under the law in defense of his son.
So again, that's the issue for jurors to determine. And in an effort to prove their side beyond a reasonable doubt, prosecutors ask all of the eyewitnesses if they ever seen a gun in Cyrus's hands.
As you, your daughter, and grandkids were in that parking lot, you watched Cyrus run by. What, if anything, was in his hands?
I saw the backpack on his back, but I didn't see anything in his hand.
And as he ran down Spring Street, what was in his hands?
I didn't see anything in his hand.
And as he fell multiple times, what was in his hands?
I didn't see anything in his hand.
And from your vantage point, you feel certain you would have seen if something was in his hands?
Yes.
Did you see a gun in Cyrus's hand at any point in time?
No.
Did you see anything in his hand at this point?
No.
All right.
Did you see the young man carrying anything?
No.
Testimony under oath is nobody told you that night that Cyrus pointed a gun at you.
Yes, sir. No, look it up.
And just for the sake of confirmation, here is the medical examiner confirming where Cyrus was shot.
The location of the wound on his back.
Before we go any further, you just heard all those eyewitnesses that were there saying that they never saw the boy with anything in his hand. Doesn't matter if he was carrying a gun or not. He didn't pull it on anybody. Should he have had the gun? No. You're a 14-year-old boy. What do you have a gun for? Like I said, blame his sorry ass parents for that. But he didn't point it at anybody. Turns out he didn't even have any water when they tracked him down. So he didn't steal anything. You ran after that boy and you murdered him. That's what happened. It's a racist situation. That's all it is.
Say that one more time.
It was on his kind of right back area, just below kind of mid-back. That's the projectile, and you can see the shadow of his heart just above that.
This is his heart?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, now the defense on the other side is making every effort they can to show that what Rick Chow did that day was in self-defense. And so they start off by highlighting why Cyrus had a gun in the first place.
Is why a 14-year-old would be illegally possessing a semi-automatic pistol, wandering the streets with that pistol, with a laser attached to that pistol. A laser to go ahead and ensure better accuracy when you fire the weapon. Because
that gun might not have been his. He might have stole it from some damn body trying to look cool. You know, all these kids claiming they tough and they listening to all this dumbass drill music and all of that shit. He might have just been taking that shit just to stunt.
If he didn't have that weapon, he never would have had a weapon to draw on Andy Chow. He never would have had a weapon to put Andy Chow in danger. And he never would have had a weapon that would cause Mr. Chow to believe his son was going to be shot and have to make a split-second decision. Split-second decision.
They also claim that even though Cyrus did not steal anything, it was reasonable for the Chows to believe he did.
Wow. He didn't steal anything. So there was no self-defense. There was no gun pointed, according to the witnesses, because all you have is Mr. Chow and his son saying that there was a gun pointed at them. Of course, I'm going to lie in court and say somebody pointed a gun at me so I can get off for murder because somebody was, I feel like somebody was trying to steal from us and I'm tired of it. Let me tell you the mind of Mr. Chow here. Look at this cocksucker's face. Let me tell you the mind of Mr. Chow. I'm tired of these, the black ones coming to my store and stealing. Oh shit, whatever the fuck they be saying when they get mad. He got mad because he tired of little black kids coming in there and stealing from him. Look, not mad at you for that. You know what I'm saying? But you thought he stole a water and that was enough for you to run after that little boy, chase him down and shoot him in the back. Not in the chest. You might have had a better of a thought of that situation of the whole self-defense if the boy fell on his back and there was a gun laying next to him. It could have looked like you shot him and he dropped a gun. He would have caught one in the chest, right? You shot him in the back, meaning he was fleeing the scene. You understand what I'm saying? Now, mind you, you know what? I'm gonna hold that for just a second.
Why was he running? Why did he run? He did increase the suspicion at that point by running. And he really ran fast because he ran out of one of his shoes.
I will agree with that. Him running did increase the suspicion of stealing, even though he did show them that he did not have anything on him. And, they found out, after he was murdered and all that, they found out that he didn't have anything on him.
Now, reasonable to believe that he may have taken something? Absolutely. Reasonable to go ahead and follow him to see where he was going, in what direction, so he could tell the police? Absolutely.
No.
And he was.
No. This lawyer is full of shit. Once he left the establishment and nobody was harmed, even if he did still, you just supposed to call the police, not chase nobody down. The cops will get on the phone with you and tell you, yo, don't chase them folks down because we don't know what could happen. This is bullshit. Yo, my people in South Carolina, if I got anybody in South Carolina, man, that watch the show, is the laws really like this? Like bullshit like this? Because they're trying to, the defense here is trying to say he had every right to murder that little boy.
He wasn't going to tackle him. He wasn't going to hold him. He wanted to see where he was going. Rick Chow, the defendant in this case.
See, when you're dealing with them coats, I'm gonna tell you what hung that whole situation. The fact that he was a little black boy and he had a gun on him. I honestly think that is the only legs that this defense is standing on right now. That little boy had a gun on him and he was running and he's black. Bullshit.
Ran following his son and Mr. Carmack Belton because he was trying to see what was going on with his son, protect his son, make sure his son was okay.
Why the fuck was motherfucking Chow running after him? So my thing is right, you say, this is why I'm saying this shit don't make sense. If they're saying that he pointed the gun at young Chow, why are you running after a guy and you don't have a gun? You don't have a gun, but you're running after a guy that pointed at you with a gun and you don't have no defense. Just make it make sense. Jamie Lanier, what's going on? Jamie Lanier says South Carolina laws is crooked and they racist. Especially, I know I used to live there and I can tell you from experience. I'm sorry to hear that. So yeah, it's you my fam, Jamie. Fuck South Carolina now if it's like that, nigga. You know what I'm saying?
He did not know what was going on. He had nothing to do with the determination in the store. But he was going out there to protect his son, to make sure his son was okay. It's his son.
The defense also attempts to poke holes in the testimony of the eyewitnesses.
You remember telling the dispatcher that you believed he might have stolen something.
That's what was being said. Yes, I said that. I was processing. I didn't want to be involved. When my mom stopped the vehicle, I told her to keep going because I did not want to be involved. My mom called 911 and she handed me the phone.
Okay.
We had the windows rolled up, and so it was muffled.
And when we talked to the 911 operator, do you remember specifically telling him you did not actually see the shooting?
I stated in my 911.
This is sick. They're sitting in this courtroom to paint this little boy like a monster.
On call, I said, I think I saw it, and then my aunt was behind me, as you can hear in the 911 call. She said, no, Jasmine, he did shoot that boy. And I said, yes, he did.
And then when the officer, whatever they call those 911 officers, they asked you a question. Did you see him shoot the boy, or did you just hear the gun go off? And your response was, we just heard the gun go off, and then we happened to see the owner pointing the gun at the boy while he was on the ground. You remember that?
Correct.
It's not okay, is it? It's not okay?
I didn't say that it was okay for a child to have a gun. I never said that.
And then let me follow.
Do you hear this? The defense is some crazy, crooked, racist motherfuckers. So the child had a gun. We don't have any camera showing. They got cameras everywhere nowadays. Today you can't do no crime. You gonna get caught, bitch. We don't have no camera footage in the store or out of the store of this boy pointing a gun at him. I'm telling y'all, that's the only legs that they got to stand on. Is he black? It's the South, and the boy had a gun on him. This is sick, man.
That question. It's not okay, is it?
I mean, it depends on what point you come from.
Is it okay to shoot a little boy in the back if he's running away from the goddamn store? I don't care if he did steal. And y'all thought he stole a water. Water is anywhere from 75 cents to $2. So $2 worth of merchandise, that little boy don't have a future no more. You took that boy's life away from him.
Please explain. What point would make it okay for somebody under the age of 15 to possess a firearm?
I mean, I wouldn't.
Well, you do know. You just said it depends. So let the jury know, based upon the questions from the state and your answer, when is it okay for someone under the age of 14 or a child to have a gun?
I mean, everybody had their own viewpoint of it.
Oh, he's stupid. You put the worst person on the damn stand. You wasn't there to help out, nigga. You could have, you know what? You shouldn't have said nothing. They would have thought you was a horse.
That's why I say it depends.
And when the lead detective testifies, the defense asks him if he found Cyrus's behavior in the store to be suspicious.
And so you saw the young man put water bottles in, put water bottles back out several times, or twice maybe, I think.
Well, he took them out and then put them back.
And you thought there was nothing peculiar about this?
No.
Cyrus Belton went into the store with a firearm.
He did.
It was illegal for him to walk into the store with a firearm.
This is all they're harping on. The fact that this 14-year-old black boy in the South had an illegal firearm on him. That's what led to his murder, even though the gun never got pulled, never got popped. Wow.
It was illegal.
Through your investigation, you found no money or payment ability for Cyrus to pay for anything in that store.
Did not.
The book bag you...
All right now, my people. I told y'all. This is the reason why this is called the Offenders Initiative podcast. I tell the truth here. I tell what I think is the truth. Most of the time, the truth is offensive. You know what I'm saying? The truth will set you free, but first it'll piss you off. Always remember that. He went in that store with no money. He definitely was there to steal. He definitely was there to steal. He just noticed Hurdy Up and Buy was on his back, so he didn't want to get caught for no bullshit. When he said that the young boy took some water bottles out and then put them back in, that was him. He surveyed the area. He saw the lady watching him. He put everything back. I'm not going to be able to hit the lick today. I need to go ahead and get up out of here, which he was trying to do. If you go back and look at the video, young boy was trying to get up out of there.
Found had nothing inside of the book bag.
There's some papers in there, but essentially, yeah.
Your testimony is there was nothing strange that you thought of going inside of that store with nothing in it.
Correct.
And then finally, you have testified, we may disagree with it, we may not like it, but you would agree it is not against the law to follow and or chase somebody from the university.
Not against the law, but once again, use and exercise common sense. The firearm being on him is the only thing that I would find that would be not right.
And then finally, in order to establish that the firearm did belong to Cyrus, the defense shows a picture Cyrus posted on his Instagram the night before the incident. He's wearing the same hoodie, holding the same firearm, and the firearm has a laser light on it that was also found at the scene.
Wow. Okay, yeah, now, I'm not mad at him. I'm not mad at him. I'm mad at his fucking parents, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm mad at his parents, bitch, because not only does he own a firearm, but he's posting it online for everybody to see. You know, everybody pretty much got all the same shit. We all pretty much frequent all the same social media situations and apps and platforms and things of that nature, right? So you're telling me y'all bad parenting asses never saw this picture? Y'all never saw this picture? Horrible parenting. Horrible. And him having horrible parents and being all willy-nilly and free and carrying that gun is what led to...
Is that, from your example, from looking at defense exhibit number 1, is that the light that was on the firearm that was found on scene that day?
You hear how the lawyer was talking? Is that the light that was on the firearm, the illegal firearm that he shouldn't own? Yo. Y'all think y'all want to be demons, and this is how they're going to look at you after you're gone.
It appears to be.
And that would be the firearm that we believe is in state's exhibit number 11.
A firearm?
Yes.
So again, through the course of your investigation, do you not find it strange, weird, peculiar that on the day before this, or within 24 hours, this is posted and then he goes into the store through your investigation?
He shouldn't have had a gun, period.
Okay, that's the recap for day 1 and day 2. The defense is up on day 3 to.
Okay. They have deliberated and they have come up with a verdict in this case. Have y'all been keeping up? Let's see if I can get us the verdict real quick. Oh, here we go. Let me get y'all the verdict.
Jury unanimously find the defendant, Chike Rick Chow, as to the charge of murder, not guilty. Fine number 302, four-person, June the 1st, 2026. Madam Forelady, was this your verdict and the verdict of the entire jury?
So hold on. Y'all hear them sounds in the background? Somebody in the back sounding like motherfucking Prince. That's his parents, his family in the background of the little boy that got shot in the back and got killed. His murderer, because you did murder that little boy, his murderer is getting off, not guilty.
Thank you. Madam Forelady and ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I'm going to ask you 2 questions.
Jury, Your Honor. Madam Forelady, I understand you preached the verdict.
Yes, Your Honor, we have.
Can you please hand it to the bailiff there? All right, Madam Clerk, will you please publish?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
Hold on. Now my man read it and handed it back to old girl like, nah, you read that shit. I ain't finna do that.
Indictment number 2023 GS400740, State of South Carolina, County of Richland versus Chike Rick Chow. We, the jury, unanimously find the defendant, Chike Rick Chow, as to the charge of murder, not guilty. Fine number 302, four-person, June the 1st, 2026. Madam Forelady, was this your verdict and the verdict of the entire jury?
Yes, ma'am, it was.
Thank you.
I ain't gonna lie, don't cry now. Because had y'all been better parents, that boy wouldn't even have had that. See, wow. Y'all gotta listen, man. The cop, the investigating officer, said he found no money on the boy. There was a gun at the scene. Yeah, he was. I told y'all what happened. He went in that freezer and he pulled the water out. He noticed Ling Ling over his back. He put the water back in his motherfucking in the fridge, and he decided he was gonna get up out of there. I can't hit the lick today. Soo Young on my back, I can't do it. They treated him as if he had stolen, but his whole mannerisms was a little sketchy. Oh man, damn, this is sad, man. Then you get popped. Again, doesn't matter. You run after somebody with a gun, it's no longer self-defense. And I'm gonna tell y'all something. I wish I could tell you this story, man. I almost learned the hard way about that whole playing with guns and going after somebody versus somebody coming after you. Yeah, there's a big difference. You can get caught up and put away for a long time behind some stuff like that, man. But I guess not in South Carolina, huh?
Madam Forelady and ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I'm going to ask you 2 questions. We, the jury, unanimously.
All right, man. So I'm gonna tell y'all, after this verdict here, we as a people used all our social media might to say we shall not stand for this, to the point where folks are saying we need to stop shopping in their stores. So now there is a Black Asian boycott going on right now because of this situation. let me see something. Hold on, let me see something, y'all. So we have some nasty lady here in response to the whole black people no longer shopping in Asian businesses now, which is why you're seeing it. All my folks that like have little talents, like you do hair, you do nails, you know what I'm saying? All the stuff that the Asian folks do. Now is your time to come up, because everybody, they say they're not shopping with the Asians no more. It's sad to see, man, but there's a nice lady that said something in response to blacks no longer shopping in Asian establishments. Let's take a listen here. This ought to be grand. Somebody sent this to me. This ought to be grand.
This is going to be an unpopular fucking opinion, and I'm going to call you out since you motherfuckers don't seem to fucking understand. Every single one of you over there boycotting Asian business and spreading more Asian hate, you fucking black fucking people with your black fatigue, okay? And what your people call niggerism. Kick that nigger bitch off the plane! Sir, please. Yeah, not my...
Hold on, shout out to that boy Brandon Jamal, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to stop cussing so much. I'm an old soldier, man. It's never gonna leave. But Jesus Christ, she was punching back to back just now. Tell us how you really feel, right?
My words, those are your people words. You people that is living in that black culture mentality, the poor victim mentality, thinking that people still owe you fucking reparation. Yeah, you motherfuckers. I'm the one talking to you motherfuckers. Every single one of you failing in life. And then you want to blame everybody else. You see this whole Cyrus case and Mr. Chow? None of this would have happened if you motherfuckers raise your fucking kids right.
She might have just touched a nerve on that one, killer. I'm not gonna lie to you. There she has a point. She's saying a whole lot of hateful, bigoted bullshit right now, but there you do have a point. But this is why I'm saying I don't blame the young man. I blame his parents, because had he been, you know what I'm saying, straightened out the right way, there wouldn't have been in no situation for him to even have a gun on him, let alone go into a store with no money on him with intentions to steal. He didn't steal anything, but the fact that he had the gun on him, he was in the store with no money, he's been accused of stealing, now he takes off. It just, you're putting yourself in the lane for all of this, versus when you got good parenting, that don't happen. You know where your child is. You know who your child is. You know what they're capable of. Not even watching the social media, letting social media raise them.
That fucking little boy witnessed some of his business trying to steal fucking water, okay? Now, I might not agree with Mr. Chow chasing the fucking boy and shooting him fucking in Timbuktu, okay, wherever the fuck he was. But here's the crazy part. If you had disciplined your fucking boy right, he wouldn't be in someone's store trying to steal fucking a 50-cent bottle of fucking water in the first place, okay? Not only that, you go and attack the fucking attorney defending his clients. And then here's the truth of the matter. Your people, there are 7 black jurors who found your kid responsible, making Mr. Chow, okay, not guilty because they understand your fucking culture.
Yo, have y'all seen this?
Your mentality. You failed your kid. Your society failed your kid. Your mentality failed your kid. That niggerism fucking attitude failed your fucking kid.
Whoa.
Now, if you can't reflect on that, and if you can't understand and take accountability for your fucking failure, this will continue. More black kids are gonna die. Your community is still gonna struggle, and your people will fucking continue to be in poverty. No one's gonna give you a fucking handout. Stop asking for a fucking handout. Stop thinking you're gonna fucking make bank off your fucking kid's death, okay? What you need to fucking do is self-reflect on your people, your culture, your fucking community, and stop blaming everybody else. Let me tell you, boycotting the fucking Asian community, they're probably thanking God that your fucking black ass don't fucking go into their fucking store anymore to cause a fucking muck.
Wow. Okay, That's a lot to get off her chest. She been waiting to say that for a minute, huh? Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So this content right here is off of Instagram, and this is by the old school, the OG from No Limit, Mr. Servon.
Please.
Yeah, nah. Let's start if we can. Let's start putting ourselves in a position where we can stop hating on each other and come together and get some money, because y'all see how everything's moving, right? In a few years here, this shit might be the purge. I think we all need to start moving as one. Meaning, if you a good soul, this ain't even about color. Just if you a good soul, you know what I'm saying? You know between what's right and what's wrong. That lady been wanting to say some dumb shit like that. Oh, what else? What else I got here? That's somebody that sent me. Oh, look at this fool. Supposedly, he went all in on try to go in on some economic shit. They done cooked him so bad on TikTok, he don't have a TikTok no more.
I love when the black community says, let's boycott Asian businesses. Please do. We'll get rid of the Chinese takeout, the dry cleaners, the laundromats. Let's get rid of the liquor stores as well. Get rid of the Jordans you guys wear, the Nikes you wear, the shower caps, the Hondas, the Hyundais, all your car electricians, the electronics in your house, the Sony, the TV system, your sound system, the microphones that you guys use to rap and speak about awareness for the black culture and the hip hop culture. Where do you think that's made in? That's made all in Asia. And here's another thing for you guys. You guys want us to leave the neighborhood so bad? Oh, Asian people are in our neighborhoods? We're in white neighborhoods. We have our own Chinatown. We have our own Koreatown. You think we really need you guys to benefit off and make money? A lot of us do go to college as well. You're being outworked by immigrants who barely speak English. And you're not embarrassed? Go to the bank, start your own businesses, and deal with your own people. I want to see your own women get on their hands and knees and do pedicures and manicures and deal with nasty ass attitudes, okay? Please boycott Asian business. I'm all for it.
After reading your comment, I went ahead and did a little extra digging into Mr. Rick.
Oh man, that just disrupts my soul. How are we feeling? Are we boycotting Asian businesses, or we just don't give a fuck? We're gonna stay out the way because black people gonna be doomed either motherfucking way. Y'all tell me in the comments how y'all feeling about that one. But on to the next one. Scary Movie and Masters of the Universe. Hold on, y'all. We got to talk about it. Has anybody seen either one of those yet? I have seen Scary Movie. It was funny, but I felt like maybe it could have been better. Yeah, I felt like it could have been better. Let me see what, you know what I'm saying? Let's catch a nice review here. I go with the boy Tyrone Magnus. Let's see what he says. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. All right, this is by way of the one and only Tyrone Magnus, y'all. If you're unfamiliar, please give that brother a like, comment, and a subscribe. Let's see what he thought about it. What the fuck?
All right. This is going to be a short one, okay? This is going to be a short movie review. You don't go to a scary movie for nothing else but the jokes.
Right.
And when I tell you is jokes upon jokes upon jokes, is a point where I had to go pee. I didn't want to leave because I didn't want to miss a joke. So I ran out as fast as I could and ran back as fast as I could. So they make fun of everybody.
And everything. Everybody. Right.
In every which way, shape, and form that they can, they do. If you are easily offended, do not go to this movie. However, if you can laugh at others and laugh at yourself, you're going to have a pretty damn good time. I was like,
I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna lie to you. Now, when I think about it, it might have been just right. Hey man, that scary movie was kind of fire. I ain't gonna lie. It was kind of fire. And it was funny. And like he just said, they made a lot of jokes about any and everything. Nobody was off the table or off, you know what I'm saying, off limits. Everybody got gunshots. You understand what I'm saying? And that's honestly what we need back in the world, bruh. Don't believe that Rotten Tomatoes shit, man. Y'all want to have some fun? Go watch that movie.
the scary movies. I like to
And then laugh at the people that get up in the middle of it. Like, this is so offensive. And they get up and try and leave and shit. Laugh at them on the way out.
all of them. I had a good time. I've always been fans of the Wayans since Living Color. And, you know, Sean and Marlon branching off and doing their own thing. I've always been fans of theirs. And I enjoyed myself thoroughly. So I'm going to give this a 3 out of 5. Woos. It was an above average good time. It wasn't as side splitting and hilarious as I thought it was going to be.
Okay, that might be what I'm feeling. I'm like, I feel like it could have been better, but it was funny. It was funny. But that wasn't nothing beating that first one.
But they let their hair down. They cracked on everybody. It was a fun, just relax and laugh, good time. And there's a mid post credit scene. So make sure you check that out. All right. Post the comments down below.
Salute to Tyrone Magnus for that one, man. That's pretty fire right there. Make sure y'all check out that Scary Movie. Scary Movie is definitely funny as hell. I'm telling you. I can't review that and break that down the way that I would a normal TV show or a movie because you're not gonna get any of the jokes. You gotta watch that one. You gotta go to the theater or get How You Live and watch that one. But let's see what they're saying about He-Man, the Masters of the Universe movie. Let me see, y'all. Let's see. This we can get into. Let's see. We can look. Not IGN. I ain't gonna do IGN. Let's do Everything Awesome. Keep showing them cats love, man. This was gonna be about Everything Awesome. He says I saw Masters of the Universe movie. So let's see what he says. He-Man, nigga.
Welcome back, everyone. It's Charlie. I had a chance to see the new Masters of the Universe movie. This will be my non-spoilery review. The last live-action He-Man movie was Dolph Lundgren's 1980s version, so the new movie tries to see if it can please both the older fans of the franchise and onboard a whole bunch of new younger fans at the same time, launching a reboot of the entire franchise that can last through a whole bunch of sequels. So we will talk about whether or not this movie actually has the power to last to make all the He-Man puns possible. This is also a great opportunity to add to my sword collection with the He-Man Power Sword. So Mattel, please sell more replicas of the Power Sword. Travis Knight, the director, literally just did this same thing several years ago, you'll remember, with the Transformers Bumblebee movie. New movie in a pre-existing big franchise, just happened to be Transformers, that was intended to serve as a reboot of said franchise, and that's basically what they're doing with this new live-action Masters of the Universe. So we will talk about whether or not I think they were actually successful in doing that, trying to honor pretty much every version of Masters of the Universe that's been on screen before, even some of the comics that helped launch.
I mean, it looks pretty fire live action, right? Don't tell me this shit buns, man, because like I still kind of still want to go see it just to, you know, have fun at the way that they might bring that whole world of Eternia into live action.
The original toy line back in the early 1980s and make it friendly enough for brand new audiences who have never watched any version of He-Man before. I am going to do a separate post-credit scene video and full breakdown of all the Easter eggs and references later this week after the movie comes out everywhere. People do have a chance to see it, so be sure to go see it as soon as possible because there are a couple real big post-credit scenes. It almost felt like 10 extra people with machine guns from Amazon came out into the audience to shoot people on sight if they were recording that while I was watching the movie.
Oh, wow.
But the movie is intended to be a total reboot of the Masters of the Universe franchise. Even though it references the Dolph Lundgren version, it heavily references the original 1980s cartoon, the 2002 cartoon. I didn't see any big references to the more recent Kevin Smith Masters of the Universe on Netflix, but that was probably just because they were making this movie. They were developing the movie at the same time they were making that cartoon, so none of the people making the movie had actually seen his cartoon yet. Nicholas Galitzine plays Adam, He-Man. Camila Mendez plays Tila. Jared Leto is Skeletor. I know there are going to be a lot of questions about this, and I had a lot of questions going into it knowing that he was playing Skeletor. Does he go full Morbin time? Is this movie just another example of Morbin time?
You didn't see that coming?
And thankfully, I can say no, it is not. You never actually see Jared Leto's face inside Skeletor's head. You wouldn't know it was him if you didn't actually read anything about this movie before you went to see it. And his performance, surprisingly, is actually pretty good. It is very
Okay.
much in the tone of classic 1980s Skeletor.
Okay, all right. So that might be worth seeing it because I thought Jared Leto was in there. He had a chance of messing that up. Do I feel like he messed up the DC U Joker? I do not. He didn't really get a chance to really do his thing. As a matter of fact, I think he was a pretty fire Joker. And him as Michael Morbius was kind of fire too. If they would have continued with that whole Sony universe and actually, put a Spider-Man in there instead of that weird shit that they were doing, a whole fucking universe full of villains. What the fuck wants that? You want somebody to fight the niggas? Yeah.
Idris Elba is Man-at-Arms, Alison Brie is Evelyn. I'll focus mostly on them in this review video since they took the majority of the story in the movie. It does feature many of the classic Masters of the Universe characters, but not every single one from every single wave of toys. Like, there's still a lot of toys in the toy box for the sequel. There were a couple hidden characters that they left out of the trailers that appear in post-credit scenes. There are 2 post-credit scenes. One of them is just like a funny reference to the classic Masters of the Universe cartoon episodes, and the other one is a big canonical sequel teasing moment, like earth-shattering reveal that was very important for the future of what they're doing with the next movie. So do stay through the credits.
Okay, I see what he doing here. He trying to get asses and seats. He want everybody to start going back to the movies. Again, times have changed. The movie theaters is a legit expensive date now. So shit got to be worth it to go to the movies and see something, which is why I look at these movies before I step my ass out the motherfucking house. Because was that worth me spending my money to go up there? I mean,
I'll talk more about what's in them and what they mean later this week. But I feel like the trailers have actually done a pretty good job of selling you on what the actual vibe of the movie is, and it's mostly Flash Gordon mixed with Thor Ragnarok. Even the people that made the posters were inspired by a lot of the Flash Gordon posters, so you can kind of see the comp here.
Flash Gordon mixed with Thor Ragnarok is not a bad look. I might have to go check that out.
Even use Brian May from Queen to do some of the music, and a lot of the music has vibes of Queen and Freddie Mercury, who also did Flash Gordon's soundtrack, and the movie also uses the title song from the Highlander movie, the original Highlander movie, classic Queen, classic Freddie Mercury. One of the other singers that they brought on to do a new song for Masters of the Universe is also giving a lot of Freddie Mercury vibes too.
Hey.
I'm kind of bummed that I can't use the actual music in my review video here, or the video would get heavily copyrighted. Like, it's a real big problem trying to use people's music on YouTube. But the music is out there. You can actually listen to the soundtrack right now. So do remember what kind of movie you're going to see when you step into the theater to actually watch this. This isn't like the Dark Knight version of He-Man. They're not Dark Knighting the He-Man character. But given the Flash Gordon and Thor vibes, I think the movie hewed a little closer to Thor Ragnarok than, say, like Thor Love and Thunder. If we're talking about versions of Thor here, like how silly did the movie get? Not quite as silly as Thor Love and Thunder, thankfully. There were some jokes that did not land, and the Earth-based stuff during the beginning of the movie does drag a little bit, but once Camila Mendes' adult version of Tila shows up in the film early on, then the movie comes back to Eternia, things really do start to pick up. And the movie does the rare thing of getting better the further along it goes, so the climax actually plays way better, and the movie ends in a really strong place, pushing into the sequel.
Okay. Okay. I think I'm gonna have to go and check this out now. This sounds like this might be a good time. Yeah, roll me up something nice and check this out with the family.
For those of you that are coming into this as pre-existing fans of some version of Masters of the Universe, the second half of the movie is probably the movie that you were expecting when you heard they were doing this in live action. Like, oh, that's the He-Man movie that I wanted. The first bit of the movie is mostly dedicated to onboarding those brand new fans, younger fans. Like if you're a millennial or a Gen X He-Man fan and you're taking your kids to see this, that's what the first part of the movie is for, to like explain to them who He-Man is, a crash course in Masters of the Universe before they completely dive into the toy bin. And
Okay.
thankfully, they avoided the Surf Dracula problem that a lot of these newer IP movie reboots have. They didn't wait too long for Adam to transform into He-Man. That actually happened much earlier in the movie than I was expecting.
Okay.
Probably my biggest surprise was Jared Leto's Skeletor. I came in fearing the worst after watching him bomb after bomb the last couple of years, but he actually wound up being pretty good in this. And if you watch the original cartoons, you will recognize a lot of his performance and jokes. There are a lot of Skeletor jokes, and all of them got real big laughs in my theater.
Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna need to check this out. Okay, this might be a good time
Most
right
of the
here.
biggest reactions in my theater were the Adam to He-Man transformations, though. That really drove people over the top. Yes, there is a lot of comedy in the movie. The jokes that did not work were mostly part of the Earth-based subplot. It's not terrible bad. The movie does wind up justifying the use of so much Earth by the end of the movie in really trippy ways that you have not seen in any version of Masters of the Universe before. So the movie does get a little meta with the climax in the final big battle between Hammond and Skeletor, but that is probably one of the better parts of the movie. Like the best parts of the movie are the He-Man and Skeletor stuff. So it really
Okay.
does feel like they nailed the most important parts. There is a lot of cool lore that they set up in this movie. I don't view it as being any kind of big retcons.
Okay, how many people from listening to this, man, if you're watching, are actually gonna go check out Masters of the Universe now? Seeing as though he said it's gonna steamroll right into another sequel. We need good movies now, right? We need good times. We do now. We need those.
Because this movie is
Think about what's going on in the world right now. We need good times, man. It might actually be time to go back to the movies. I don't know.
meant to be a total reboot of the
Might
franchise.
be,
And the stuff that
might be time to start picking up good books and start getting these libraries together. You know what I'm saying? And giving that world a little bit of touch base with, because it's sad out here in reality. It's real sad out here in reality.
they added were all things that were at least implied in the classic cartoon or the classic comics. We can dig into a lot of that new lore and questions that it raises in my breakdown video later this week. But if you've been watching any version of He-Man or Masters of the Universe before this, you'll recognize a lot of the stuff that they're teasing in the background, like just things that they hint at. I thought that Nicholas Galitzine did a solid job as both Adam and He-Man. You could tell Travis Knight really wanted someone who could play a good Adam and a good He-Man, not just somebody who was a big bodybuilder who was just super huge as He-Man. They actually started doing this way back with the more modern cartoons like the 2002 version, the more recent Netflix version, more of a full
Okay.
form character than just the simple action figure that shouts catchphrases a couple times and transforms into He-Man. So there is a lot of Adam in this movie in addition to being a lot of He-Man in the movie. Camila Mendes was solid. I never thought of her as an action star before this. Most of my experience with her has been from Riverdale, like a lot of people. She had great chemistry with Nick, though. They treat their romance in the movie the same way that a lot of the cartoons have treated it since the 2002 version.
sometimes you have to go, you have to go through the back door to get to where you want to go.
That's funny as hell.
Since this is
Nah, that's funny as hell. My man gonna nod his head like, yeah, sometimes you do.
this is the first movie in a franchise, most of it is just sexual tension. If they do make it to a full trilogy, maybe we'll see them actually get together at some point in the future. But I do feel like the two of them work together. Like, chemistry is very, very important for those characters. You could definitely tell Idris Elba was having way more fun in this movie than he had in any of the Marvel movies as Heimdall. He definitely knew which movie he was in. A lot of the times in big movies like this, you can get actors that are all over the map in terms of performances, like Marvel movie, DC movies, where some people go way too big with it, some people try to be too comic book.
Now my man Idris Elba showed out as man at arms. All right.
Booky or too silly or over the top, or sometimes playing it way too seriously. But it did feel like everybody in this movie understood the assignment, and I think that's mostly down to Travis Knight, just keeping everybody on the same page as director, like corralling a herd of cats, battle cats if you want to make the He-Man puns. Alison Brie was A+ as Evelyn. I never thought of her as an
Really? He said she did good as Evelyn? You gotta remember. Hold on, what was old girl name that played as Evelyn in the Dolph Lundgren version? Because that's my live action Evelyn. That chick just looked evil. Hold on. Masters of the Universe. Here we go. Cast. What was it? Meg Foster. Yeah. Meg Foster as Evelyn.
Meg Foster.
Yeah, you see this? This was the Evelyn that I grew up with right here. She looks evil, but like originally, I thought this lady had devil eyes. You see that? Dude.
Action star either, but at least in this type of movie, this tone, she was great, and she did great in all the comedic scenes with Skeletor too. She and Skeletor got some of the biggest laughs in the movie. You only get a little bit from the supporting characters like the rest of the toy box, but they are all fun, both the heroes and the villains, so I do hope to see more of them show up in the sequel. I got a lot of questions about Cringer in my trailer videos because you never hear Cringer talk in any of the trailers. There are two versions of Cringer, both of them talk, Baby Cringer and Adult Cringer, each of them with their own different voice actors, Tom Wilton and Fletcher Glenn. I wasn't familiar with either of them going into this movie, but both of them were fine. And Adult Cringer does have a couple of jokes in the movie that got some of the other biggest laughs in the theater. They got super meta. Like, there are moments in the movie where it does become very self-aware of itself. I was also happy to see Amazon and MGM use Cringer for the actual logo in the movie, the way they did in the trailers. It changed over time. It was an easy slam dunk for the fans. Originally, they started with the regular MGM logo in the first teasers, but then fans are like, why don't you just put Cringer in the actual title? Like, you should put him in the logo here. It just makes sense. And they eventually did. They just listened to fans.
That is the best way. Yo, Marvel, listen. That is the best way to get asses back in seats. Give the fans what they want. We know y'all in the background watching and looking on Twitter and all them other places where you can talk about. Give the fans what they want in Doomsday and Secret Wars. You got the money, you got the time. You see, He-Man and them did what they were supposed to do.
The only thing that didn't really work for me in the movie, like some of the weaker points, were the Earth-based stuff, the Earth characters, and James Purfoy, for some reason, was doing the weirdest accent you have ever heard come out of his mouth. Robert Pattinson would be impressed with his weird accent in this movie. He is such a great actor. His natural British speaking voice sounds so good. I have no idea why they didn't just let him use it in this film. I assume because they didn't want his King Randor to be the only British sounding person in the movie, but I don't think that anybody would have cared about that. And yes, the CG was very heavy on Eternia, but it looked better than it did in the trailers. It didn't turn into CG slop or like a Quantumania situation. Like, it wasn't that bad. The best parts of the movie, though, like I said, were all the He-Man and Skeletor.
Yo, Emergency Awesome never misses a time to diss Quantumania and they CGI.
Wars stuff. So I do feel like they really nailed the stuff that they were supposed to nail that were important for actually turning this into a legit franchise. Really interested to see how they adapt some of the other characters and the storylines that they tease for the sequels. We will talk more about that later this week. I think a lot of this succeeding as a long-term live-action new franchise at Amazon is just dependent on the casual audiences embracing these characters. But if you've seen the Transformers Bumblebee movie, it does have heart in the same way that that movie has heart. Like, it's very much in the same vibe of that movie. So I do feel like Travis Knight was probably the right person to actually direct this.
Okay.
If you do have a chance to see the movie, post your reactions in the comments below, and I will post more spoilery videos.
Salute to that brother. Salute to that brother. Thank y'all for pulling up to the sesh, man. This was a good one. Happy Monday, whether y'all watching on the rewind or whatever. I just want to say salute to everybody that pulled up. It's another episode of the Offenders Initiative podcast. Slave DiBiase, man. I'm out.